welcome back to Bead Break with Jess. That's me. Today I have a fun earring project that I'm going to do. I've been doing a lot of very simple earring projects. This was my last two ones for my last two videos that I did, right? Real simple, easy earring stuff. Today I'm going to be doing a earring project that is a little bit more intermediate, with a little bit more wire wrapping stuff involved. So this is what I'm going to be making for this project today. It's the, I'm calling it my Dia De Los Muertos earrings. And it's using beads from the October Sam's Bead box called Marigold Memory. And has these really cute sugar skulls and the Dia De Los Muertos theme going on with the colors and stuff. So this is what I'm going to be showing you how to make today. We'll put that aside, and then so you're just going to need your basic tools. I'm going to be using step bail making pliers. Of course, you need your snippers, your tweezer nose or chain nose, and maybe some bent chain nose pliers. And then I'm going to be using my block today with my hammer. And you're going to need 18 gauge and 24 gauge wire. This is the Beadalon German Style wire. So we're going to get started. You're going to start with a 4-inch piece of the 18 gauge wire. I'm going to use my stepped bail making pliers. I'm going to use the smallest mandrel right at the top of the plier. And then I'm going to form a loop like that. And then I'm going to do that on the other side. Trying to get those loops to be both facing up. Like that. So you have two little loops on either side. And then if you feel like they're not facing the same direction, you can come in with your pliers and then hold it on each side and then twist them like that so that they are both facing up. Now I'm going to be using another tool that I didn't mention. This is the Beadalon mandrel tool. This is a very handy tool. So I'm going to hold this on the mandrel like this, right in the middle. And then I'm going to form this around like this. And this is going to form that hoop shape. Push those loops all the way down so that they are touching that the mandrel. And there we have the start of our hoop. And then you can kind of flatten your loops out if they kind of are like bent up a little bit. So I actually used the second one up on the mandrel, so it was this size here to form the hoop. Pinch those loops closed. So now I'm going to put it on the bench block, and then I'll probably turn the volume down on this part so you don't have to hear this loud hammering in your ear, because this hammer is pretty loud. I also have a nylon jaw hammer that I use for when I want to harden the wire but keep it round, not change the shape. This is going to flatten my wire. And so that's what I was going to do here. That's what I did with this one. So you just, and I apologize for my bench block. It's kind of dirty. I shouldn't have used it as a coaster. So, okay. There we go. And you just kind of and I'm going to go all the way around and then also flip it over and do the other side. even doing the loops. All right, so that has hardened our wire. It's very stiff now. It has also flattened it because I have used the metal hammer instead of a like a nylon jaw hammer. So now we can start doing some wire wrapping around our hoop to make these cute little flower decorations. So we're going to need a piece of the 24 gauge wire. And I'm going to use probably like almost an arm's length. Oh, there's Kitty. There's my new kitty. He wants to say hi. Hi, Ozzy. Hi, Ozzy. He's my brand new kitty. We just got him. It's very exciting. Say hi, Ozzy. Hello. He's 3 months old. He is a cutie pie. And he's already in mama's shots. Yeah, I'm sure that's going to be happening a lot. Okay, I've got my long piece of the 24 gauge wire. And I apologize for my dirty bead mat here. This is the one I had in a bead tray that was that I was taking outside. So I think it got a little extra dirty because of that. So I'm just going to bend a little bit of it down like that. Make a little hook, hold that down, and then just wrap that around. Ozzy, mommy's making video. Hi, what are you doing, Munchkin? Okay, he's trying to eat my wire. No, don't do that. And don't eat my beads. You can't eat beads. No, beads are not good for kitties. Beads are not good for kitties. Oh my goodness, you little munchkin, you little rascal. Little rascal. We're going to, okay, anyway. We're going to wrap that, where was I? We're going to wrap that around about 6 times. Where my wire is coming around the outside, like that. So once I have that wrapped around, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to just cut that little tail off because I don't need it and it'll just get in my way as I'm trying to wrap this wire around. So for our first flower, it's going to be these little purple garnet beads that are absolutely gorgeous. So I did 4 of them on the outside of the flower and then 3 on the inside just to give it a little like depth, and that is going to form a little first flower here. So I'm going to go to the end of my wire and I'm going to put on 4 of these little garnet beads. All right, we have 1. And these things are tiny. They're hard to find the hole. All right, 2, 3, and 4. So I'm going to bring that down on my wire. Like this. And then I'm going to kind of pinch them like this to make a little arch. And then I'm going to hold that to the component really tight. And then I'm just going to wrap that around. about 3 times. What was that? Little crazy kitty. Little crazy kitty. Okay. So now the wire is coming to the inside like this, and now I'm going to put on 3 of the little garnets. 1 and 2 and 3. Slide that down. Then you're gonna kind of like pinch that again, so it makes a little, kind of a little arch like that. And then I'm going to wrap that around 1 time. So now we have the little outline of a little flower. So then I'm going to take one of the little orange beads. So I'm going to put this one on the wire. And it goes right across that, in that little space there for our middle of our little flower. And then holding that really tight, I'm just going to wrap that around the base about 2-3 times. Just like that. And if you need to adjust that a little bit, you can. You can still move the wire around a little bit to kind of adjust that. So now the next flower is the little turquoise check flower. So now we're going to put this on, slide it down, and that's going to sit right on the base of that frame, just like that. And then I'm going to wrap it around 1, 2, and 3. And then on the 3rd time around, instead of going all the way around, I'm keeping that wire to the front. And now we're going to do one of these little bell flowers, little button style bell flower. Put that on, bring that down. And that is going to sit just like that. So we have our big flower, right down to medium to little, and then for this one it's going to require a few extra wraps. 1, 2, 3, and because it's a bell, this has like a shank style, like button bead, it's going to be kind of wobbly. So we're going to take the wire and we're going to come back up, and I'm going to wrap it around the base of the flower. So you want to hold that in place and wrap it 1. See, I'm wrapping it around the base of that flower, 2, and then 3. Coming back down. That's going to make it so it's not going to wobble around on you. We've made a little like setting for it to sit in, and now it's not going to wobble. Take this, now we want to wrap this one around the base. 1, 2, and 3. that. All right, we have one side of our flowers complete. How cute. So now we're going to make the little loops on the bottom so that we can hang our dangles from. They hang right underneath that little skull. All right, so you're going to use your stepped bell making pliers just like this. And you're going to wrap the wire around that mandrel, holding it in place. Take this wire and wrap it. So now we have one little loop like that. I went around 3 times. Now I'm going to form my second loop. Put the stepped bell making pliers right there. While you are holding that in place, wrap around the wire 1 time with the mandrel in place. That way you know your loop is going to be formed. Then you can take the tool out and then wrap it around another time so that it's wrapped around about 3 times in between each loop. Oops, I'm hitting the camera. So we're going to do another loop. Hold that tight. While it's on there, that forms your loop. Then take the tool off and then wrap it around one more time. One, 2, 3. And now we need one more loop. Wrap that like that. Hold it tight. Wrap it down. And then go one more time. So now we have our loops. Now we're going to go back up the other side with our flowers. Sorry, I keep hitting the camera. So if you need to come back in and kind of adjust these loops, you can always come in with your like round nose pliers and then kind of stick it in there a little bit and like kind of like shape it to make sure you have that like nice little round shape on the bottom. They're almost like little petals of a flower themselves. So we're going to continue to wrap around. So we're going back up the other side. So now we're going to do the little button flower again. And we're going to pop that on so that it's sitting on the top of the wire. And the wire is coming from this side of the component, right? So now we're going to wrap it around the other side like that. Hold it tight and then wrap 1, 2, 3, and then it's loose. So we're going to do what we did on this side, and we're going to wrap. Make sure he's like situated, you know, where you want it, because you can slide around a little bit. And then, yeah, so then once you have it in place, you're going to wrap the wire around the base about 3 times. Pull it tight, and that's locking that little flower in place. He's not going to be moving around on you. See that definitely there's a back side to this earring. All right, so now we're going to just keep going up. Anchor this to the base, 1, 2, 3 on the hoop. And now we can come in with our little turquoise flower. And wrap that around, 1, 2, 3. That one's easy peasy. So now we're going to take our little garnets and we're going to add these on. So each of these little flowers takes 7 of the garnets, and then we do 2 more garnets down here. So there's 16 garnets in total for each earring. Each earring has a total of 27 beads. Hey, you, what are you doing? Okay. Sorry about the little kitty interruption there again. I'm not used to having this little kitty jumping on my table. He's just so cute. Okay. 4 of the garnet. Kind of to form that little archway there. And we'll wrap that around like that. And then we're going to come in on this side and we're going to do the 3 garnet. 1, 2, kitty kitty. And 3. Okay. Then you're going to give it a little pinch, bring up that archway, and then I'm going to wrap that around 2 times. So now our wire is down here, and we're going to bring in our last bead for the frame. Is the little marigold bead. That is going to be the center of our flower. We're going to drape the wire right across in between our little arches of garnet. It's going to sit right on top. And then we're just going to wrap that around. Pull it tight. And there we go. We have our arrangement of cute little flowers. See, I think I can do one more time. And pull that tight. And then I'm just going to trim off the tail. Now I have a little scrap wire for my scrap wire pile to save for something else. And tuck that wire a little bit. Squeeze it down. Okay, so now we are going to add some little dangles to the bottom of this. And so, like I said, we're going to use 2 more of the little garnet. And then we're going to use these gorgeously stunning Capri blue drops. We use the larger one in the center and then 2 of the smaller drops. And I'm going to get out my ball head pins. Okay, I have my little drops laid out on my little head pins here. And I'm just going to start making some loops. I want some loops like this. And open your loop a little bit. And we're going to put that on the first loop on our component. And we're going to then hold that like this. And I like to use my other hand. And we're going to make a wrap loop. Just wrap that around. Just like that. And then we're going to trim that tail off. Now we're going to do our little garnet. So I'm going to bend the wire down like that. Bring my pliers up like this. Wrap that around. Turn my pliers again. And then have the wire coming out like that. Open our loop. Going to put that one on to the next one. That. I'm going to try to get everything out of the way as we hold on to that and then wrap that around. There we go, another wrapped loop. Trim off the tail. And I'm just going to keep going. I hope you guys are liking this earring design. I hope you'll give this video a like and also hit that subscribe button so that you can see all the videos I come up with. I'm just having a lot of fun making these YouTube videos. I'm enjoying having the time to be able to do this and just share my passion for beads and jewelry making with the world, all of you guys watching. So thank you so much. And if you are on Facebook, you could join my group, Jess Jewelry Treasures Collective Group, and you can share any of your designs or any like jewelry making related content you would like over there. All right, now we're going to do another little garnet. Like that, make our little loop, open that up. Put that on the next loop. It does get tricky to do this because of all those beads in the way. If you wanted to just make all your wrapped loops and then connect them with jump rings to the loops on the component, you totally could do that. This does get a little tricky. The other drops can get in your way as you're trying to wrap this wire around. All right, we got one more little drop to do. One more little loop. And you can always roll your loop forward a little bit more if you want to lessen that space there. Okay, so now we're gonna just pop that on. Try to get a hold of everything. Get a hold of that loop. Get everything else out of the way, I should say. And then wrap this wire around, making that wrap loop. Whoop, see, twist it on me. All right. We have our little danglies. So now we got to go in with plier. This is my tweezer nose plier. And then just make sure, you know, clean up those wraps, tuck that wire in on the back there. Oh, this one needs a little bit more of a trim. You don't want to have any little wire kind of poking out. Don't want earrings to get stuck in our hair or anything when we're wearing them. Okay, almost done. Okay, and then this one, give that a little tuck, clean that up. Okay. There we go. Our like hoop part is done. Oh, so cute. Little chandelier. Now we need to add our cute little sugar skull. I'm going to put him on a ball head pin with one of those little Preciosa crystals, like the light lavenderish color I used for that. Okay, one more ball head pin, put on my little skull and my sparkly little Preciosa crystal, and one more wrapped loop on the top. And she's got to have a little more sparkle on her head. Between this little crystal and the garnets and the capri blue drops, these earrings have lots of pretty sparkle. Whoops, I think I'm getting too close to the camera again. Sorry about that. All right, trim that off. Give that a tuck. Okay, now we have our little skull. So he's going to go right in the middle. And then I'm going to connect that all with jump rings. So I used 2 4mm jump rings and then 1 6mm jump ring at the top. And my skull comes down from there. And the ear wire comes up the top from that 6mm jump ring. Okay, I'm going to open my little 4mm jump ring and connect it with this other one. And the size of your jump ring, it does make a difference with your designs. I always feel like if your jump ring is too big in certain places, it just doesn't look right. So I mean, I always use like the rule of, you know, use the smallest jump ring you can. If you need to size up, doesn't fit, then size up, but always start with a 4mm, because it definitely can make a difference with your sizing and spacing and all that. And I feel like if the jump ring is too big, sometimes it just doesn't look right. Okay, anyway. Okay, I'm going to attach my 2 jump rings there. And then I'm going to attach my other 2 to the other side. Close that up. And now I have my 6mm jump ring. Open that. I'm going to hook on that side there. Then I am going to hook on my skull, dangle in the center, and then I'm going to grab that other jump ring on the other side. So that is a very important jump ring right there. It holds the whole thing together. All right, and close that up. Oops, wrong pliers. My flat nose. There we go. And there we go. She is gorgeous. Wait, she needs an ear wire. She's not done until she has an ear wire, of course. I mean, can't wear it without the ear wire, right? Not done yet. Here is my ear wire. There we go. Let's open that up. Attach it onto the top. And then she will be complete. There we go. Close that up. And there we go. We have our beautiful, sparkly, flowery, dangly, sugar skull, Dia De Los Muertos earrings. If the ofrenda was an earring, like this would be it right here. I feel like that's it, an earring style. Are those not so stunning? I really love how these turned out. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you will subscribe to my channel. Give this video a thumbs up. And I hope you have a fabulous day. I will get a picture of these and do all the posting. Thanks for watching. Have a fabulous day.